Alright everyone, my first movie review of 2019. I know it's coming a little late in the month, but don't worry, the movie reviews are going to be coming out much more frequently now. So, the first movie I saw this year was the new horror film, The Turning. So, The Turning stars Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things and It Chapters 1 and 2, Mackenzie Davis from the recently released Terminator Dark Fate, and it's directed by Floria Sigismondi. I'm definitely butchering that. She's previously only worked on TV. I know she did an episode of Hemlock Grove, an episode of Daredevil, the show American Gods, so I think this is one of her first major motion pictures. Also, weirdly enough, Steven Spielberg was an executive producer on this. I see none of his influence at all, so maybe they just consulted him or something just to have the name on there, but they didn't market it that way, so. The movie is based off the book called The Turn of the Screw, which is probably not as marketable of a title for a movie, so good choice by just calling it The Turning. I'm actually curious about the book because this movie, there was a lot of things kind of just left up to the viewer to decide, and while that is cool sometimes, I would love to see what actually happened in the book. So maybe I'll read the book or just look up a synopsis online or something. Either way, let's just get into the plot. There's two kids in this film, Flora and Miles. Their parents are gone. A lot of the previous caretakers and people who worked on the grounds of this huge mansion they live in have passed away as well. So the house is getting a new governess by the name of Kate. She's basically going to care for the kids, live there, look after them, teach them, do everything for them. Now, right off the bat, this movie is very reminiscent, to me at least, of that movie The Others with Nicole Kidman and Christopher Eccleston. About halfway through the movie, it definitely strays away from that, which is good. Back on track with the plot, Kate is dealing with a lot. Her mom is psychotic, she's in a mental house, and the kids at the house aren't making it that much easier. She thinks she's seeing things, she's having crazy dreams. Finn Wolfhard, who plays Miles, he plays an amazing character in this movie. It's my favorite role of his since Stranger Things because It Chapter 2, yeah, he was fine in that, but he kind of played the same type of kid, like a coming-of-age story. And in this, he's just this really creepy kid. He's rebellious. He's a little bit older of a teenager, which makes me hopeful to see him in Ghostbusters Afterlife. So long story short, Mackenzie Davis, who plays Kate, comes in, basically has to do everything for these kids. But something's up with either the house, the kids. Either way, something's definitely just off. Springboarding off of how I liked Finn Wolfhard in this movie, I want to talk about my other positives. So first off, Mackenzie Davis, the woman who plays Kate. In this movie, she can really relate to these kids. She lost her family too, and she's dealing with a lot of stress. Her mom is crazy. She's still there, but she's not there mentally, if you know what I mean. So it feels to her like she lost her family. Just seeing her put up with all this stress and being a good person and powering through all the crazy hallucinations and dreams and just little problems these kids have. A little girl by the name of Brooklyn Prince plays Flora, and this girl is adorable. I feel like she's gonna be cast as the adorable little kid for the next 3 or 4 years in all these big Hollywood movies. She's a little creepy at some points, but she's not meant to be the creepy kid. The creepy kid goes to Finn Wolfhard, obviously. There is some good comedic relief in this movie too, dark comedy, if you will. There's a scene where Mackenzie Davis's character sees a girl drowning in the pool, so of course she runs down real quick to investigate, and turns out it's just a mannequin with a wig, or like a doll, I don't know, mannequin, whatever. And it's got a dress on and everything, and the kids are up there laughing when she comes out of the water, and she's like, "It's not funny, go to bed now." She does not know how to take a joke, so you can tell she's got a lot of problems internally. But if I'm a 14 or 15-year-old kid and I'm with my little sister and it's just us in this huge mansion, you gotta have some fun, right? The last thing I loved in this movie is the soundtrack. It's very chilling, haunting, ominous, and it just gives you a creepy vibe overall. Not even the scene where it's supposed to be creepy, but normal scenes where they're just training on how to ride a horse or going to walk around the grounds or just talking to one another. The music makes the whole scene feel very tense and uncomfortable. So what I didn't like, halfway through the movie, the setup was okay, but this movie just feels like a lot of other horror movies out there. Like I said, it was at first reminiscent of The Others, but it did stray from that, which is good. But not enough to where I feel like this is unique and I'm gonna remember it. The jump scares are very cliche and have all been done before. Like there's a scene with a mannequin and the mannequin's neck turns. I've seen that a million times. There's a scene where she's in the mirror. Yes, another mirror scene in a horror movie. She's in the mirror, she comes down to do something, comes back up, and there's something right behind her. Like, can we please stop with all these cliches in horror movies? Stop with the fake jump scares too. Like, you know what I mean? Like when people are walking down the hallway, they think they hear something, so it's very tense. And like someone just comes out of the room like, hey, what are you doing? Like, it's a fake out. It really needs to stop and be dialed back. We can all see it coming from a mile away. I can't dive too much into the second act because it does reveal a lot about the film's plot, but the second act, it interested me enough, but at the end of the movie, it just did not pay off. It's one of those endings to where, like I said earlier, it kind of leaves it up to the viewer to decide what happened. It sort of makes sense to me, but like, there's like 4 or 5 different possibilities of what could have been going on. I just felt like it was very quick and very abrupt and a poor explanation to wrap up the film. There's this friend of Kate's in the film and she just basically serves as like a way for the viewer to know like there's an outside world there, but like I didn't care about her character. She just ate up a lot of time and she was pretty pointless besides that fact. Guys, in the end, Finn Wolfhard and Mackenzie Davis did a good job in this film along with the other actors and actresses. The tone for the music was great. It was very chilling. The setup, even though it was a little familiar, I was totally buying into, but in the end the movies didn't pay off. A lot of the scares were done before and done better. The ending I felt was just very abrupt and lazily done, and I know sometimes in movies the whole, like, what do you think happened, like cliffhanger fits, but in this one it just really doesn't. So the first movie that I've seen in theaters for 2020 wasn't really the biggest hit with me. The Turning gets a 5.5 out of 10.